Let's turn some pages. A Guide to Success for Black Americans, Think and Grow Rich, A Black Choice by Dennis Kimbrough and Napoleon Hill. Chapter 1 continued, Law of Attraction. Human nature assumes that opposites attract. Perhaps in the scientific realm they do, but not so much for people. Actually, people are attracted to others like themselves. Individuals are drawn together because they recognize and appreciate certain common qualities in each other. Those who criticize, find fault, and continually accentuate the negative attract similar people into their world. On the other hand, positive, life affirming individuals attract like minded people into their orbit. So, in effect, you create your own world through your thoughts about life in general and about yourself in particular. Those who are clear in their thinking and affirmative in their minds find self fulfillment. They attract positive and constructive people like themselves and prosper. The mental force that controls the universe has been called many things: God, Jehovah, Muhammad, but the important thing is to know that it exists. The law of attraction has been likened to an enormous electromagnetic field within a greater universal sphere attracting others of the same source, kind, or quality. For example, a highly magnetized piece of steel will attract and lift a piece of metal 10 times its own weight. The same law applies within the world of human nature. The laws of attraction and repulsion operate electromagnetically. Out of this truth has grown the saying, success attracts more success, while failure attracts more failure. A positive or negative minded individual will attract a person of the same attitude or outlook. Like always attracts like. It is important that you become magnetized with ambition. Law of compensation. The law of compensation can work for you or against you, depending on the manner in which you guide it. It may take many years for punishment to follow transgression or for reward to follow virtue, but compensation always seeks its source. An ancient Sanskrit text says, "Whatever you give to others, give with love and reverence." Gifts must be given in abundance with joy, humility, and compassion. The Bible puts it this way: as you give, so shall you receive. Examine your attitudes toward giving. Never seek a trade off, that subtle and sly thief that lies ready to rob you of the purity and joy of your giving. Be a joyful giver. Give help, give energy, give time, give funds, share ideas. Offer counsel to your friends if they desire it, but give freely with joy and have no thought of a return. If you give seeking or expecting a return, you are not giving, but investing. You are not releasing, but lending. Your real reward must come from the infinite source, the law of compensation. The channels by which you may reach your goals are clear and straightforward. When your thoughts are clearly and confidently centered on a desired result, all that is good and right will be drawn to you by your own thinking. This is the omnipotent idea that you will undoubtedly encounter as you strive for all that life offers. You are a living magnet, constantly attracting the things, people, and circumstances that are in accord with your thoughts. You are where you are in experience, in relationships, and even in financial conditions because of what you are in thought. I believe you have been drawn to this book by this powerful law. It could just be that Think and Grow Rich, a Black Choice, is an idea whose time has come in your life. Change your thoughts, change your life. Can you accept the dictum that you can think your way to success? In Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill writes, you have absolute control over but one thing, and that is your thoughts. This is the most significant and inspiring of all facts known to man. It reflects man's divine nature. This divine prerogative is the sole means by which you may control your own destiny. If you fail to control your own mind, you may be sure you will control nothing else. If you must be careless with your possessions, let it be in connection with material things. Your mind is your spiritual estate. Protect and use it with the care to which divine royalty is entitled. You were given a willpower for this purpose. The power of thought, depending on how it is used, is the most dangerous and the most beneficial force available to man. Through this power, man has built great empires of civilization. Through the same power, other men have trampled down these empires like so many insignificant pieces of clay. By its application, man rises to seize its opportunity. And through neglect or misuse of the same power, man has turned his back on opportunity, becoming a puppet of his environment, a slave to his circumstances. Every creation of man, whether it be good or bad, is created first in a pattern of thought. All ideas, plans, and purposes are created in thought. As men search all their lives for worldly riches, they fail to realize that the source of all they would ever desire is already within their reach and under their control, awaiting only their recognition and use. Your only requirement for productive, fulfilled life lies within the storehouse of your mind. If you will change your thinking, you will change your life. From ancient times, sages and seers have tried to understand the thought process and how it works. They sought to direct the mind through the spiritual disciplines of prayer, meditation, and psychic control. Sincere and dedicated spiritual researchers were impelled to communicate to others what they had learned about infinite intelligence, the way to work with one's mind and emotions to attain desired ends. Unfortunately, these efforts fell short for one good reason. They failed to apply the complete process that directs the creative subconscious. Throughout all of history, the great wise men, teachers, philosophers, and prophets have disagreed with each other on many different things. But on this one point, they are in complete and unanimous agreement. You are the sum total of your thoughts. A man's life is what his thoughts make of it, said the Roman emperor and philosopher Marcus Aurelius. The British writer and prime minister Benjamin Disraeli wrote, everything comes if a man will only wait. I've brought myself by long meditation to the conviction that a human being with a settled purpose must accomplish it, and that nothing can resist a will that will stake even existence for its fulfillment. The 19th century American essayist and poet Ralph Waldo Emerson added, a man is what he thinks about all day. Shakespeare wrote, there is nothing, either good or bad, but thinking makes it so. Harvard psychologist William James said in one of his emotionally charged lectures, the greatest discovery of my generation is that human beings can alter their lives by altering their attitudes of mind. We need only to act as if the thing in question were real, and it will become infallibly real by growing in such a connection in our life that it will become real. James further concluded that if you only care enough for a result, you will almost certainly obtain it. If you wish to be rich, you will be rich. If you wish to be learned, you will be learned. If you wish to be good, you will be good. And Ayn Rand, author and philosopher, emphasized wealth is the product of man's capacity to think. Man's essential characteristic is his rational faculty. His mind is his basic means of survival, his only means of obtaining that which he desires. Life for each of us is exactly as we construe it to be, according to the mental law under which we labor. All notions of theology or metaphysics are for each of us exactly as we sense them to be. For ideas that take root in our minds determine the scope and limitations of our well-being. This is the basis for the astonishing law of prosperity and success, simply stated in 3 words: believe and succeed. Thinking along similar lines, Shakespeare put it this way: our doubts are traitors and makes us lose the good we oft might win by fearing to attempt. The English dramatist George Bernard Shaw reasoned, people are always blaming their circumstances for what they are. I don't believe in circumstances. The people who get on in this world are those who get up and look for the circumstances they want. If they can't find them, they make them. To many, mental power implies such chicanery as moving objects by sheer will. But the mentally adept person works on no one but himself. His is the eye through which all things are seen. And only insofar as he is able to influence his own perception is he able to influence his world.